And she's, looking at me, and I'm just like, dancing a little bit, and then starts flashing her boobs. And
No one did.
What?
Yes, she did.
That's a lie.
She starts dancing on top of me. Like, she's
No.
literally in my lap while I'm playing drums.
Do you know who my father could be? My mama just said, I don't know. Actually, I have a list of men. It's about 6 or 7 guys.
67?
About 6 or 7.
I said, wait a minute now.
I look like Jessica and I look like Teresa. And Jessica for sure is your kid?
Yeah, Jessica's mine, yeah.
Okay,
I
and
know
we
she's
look
mine.
identical.
Did you ever ask him for a DNA test?
No, because I never seen him around.
Oh, come on.
The case of Evans versus Snyder kicks off, where Mr. Evans disputes paternity of a 2-month-old daughter, Lainey, claiming their relationship was a brief fling. He is adamant he is not the father, and expresses a strong desire to reclaim his last name once proven. The saga is just heating up, so don't go anywhere.
This is a case of Evans versus Snyder.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Evans, you claim your relationship with the defendant was just a week-long fling, and you are certain you are not the biological father of her 2-month-old daughter, Lainey. Once today's results prove what you already know, you want your last name back.
Are you ready for this curveball? Mrs. Snyder counters with a firm belief that Mr. Evans is indeed Lainey's father, emphasizing his need for involvement in Lainey's life and her expectation that today's DNA test will settle the matter once and for all. Buckle up, because the twists keep coming.
You claim today's DNA test will prove that the plaintiff is Lainey's father, and you need him to step up and help support your daughter. So, Mr. Evans, you say you're certain this is not your child.
I'm absolutely.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more tangled, Mr. Evans vehemently denies paternity, pointing out that the baby shares none of his distinctive features, like his nose and eyes. He states he's ready to step up if proven wrong, but remains steadfast in his conviction that he's not the father. What unfolds next will surely keep you on the edge of your seat.
The baby doesn't look like me from the get-go. Like, as soon as I saw her, I was just like, she don't look like me. She doesn't have my nose, she doesn't have my eyes. Like, I would see, features, that would resemble me. She doesn't look anything like me. So I just want to know. I mean, if she is mine, then okay, I'll man up and take care of my little girl. But if she's not mine, then I want my name back.
Things are about to get even more emotional. Ms. Snyder, visibly upset, articulates the pain caused by Mr. Evans's denial of paternity. She speaks passionately about her deep bond with her daughter and her frustration at the ongoing dispute. The emotional roller coaster is far from over, so hang tight for the next revelation.
What are you feeling in this moment right now?
Emotional and kind of sad because it's just overwhelming right now.
So today truly means everything to you. This is important.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the day that you feel like you're going to get a father for your baby.
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
father she deserves.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans recounts the peculiar way he met Ms. Snyder during a street performance, which quickly escalated into an unexpectedly wild and public flirtation. This jaw-dropping tale sets the stage for even more eyebrow-raising details to follow.
So I was downtown playing drums. So she walks up to me, and I see her, and she's, looking at me, and I'm just like, and then she starts, dancing a little bit, and then starts flashing her boobs. And
No one did.
What?
Yes, she did.
That's a lie.
She starts dancing on top of me. Like, she's
No.
literally in my lap while I'm playing drums. And while she's dancing
No.
on top of me while I'm playing drums, by like, oh, it's
Lie.
entertaining and whatnot. This is great. She's making me more money because people are putting more money in my bucket.
As if it couldn't get any more bizarre, the story spirals as Mr. Evans describes a spontaneous and chaotic threesome with Mr. Snyder and his ex-girlfriend, filled with impromptu decisions and risque antics. Just when you think you've heard it all, the next part of the story adds even more spice.
So then I get a phone call from my ex saying that she's at my house right now. She brought a guy over because he lost his job. He needed a place to stay. And it was the only place that she can think of to bring him. And I'm just like, okay, you know what, fine. But this girl dancing on my lap right now, and I'm bringing her
You
home.
didn't say that part.
Oh my God!
You didn't say that part.
I did too say that. I told you what
You
happened
said-
right after that, right after I got off the phone.
This part is key to the timeline puzzle. As the court digs deeper, Mr. Evans elaborates on the week they spent together, emphasizing their reckless and unprotected encounters, which he believes did not lead to conception. But the plot thickens, and what's next is crucial.
I can't move on from this point until I say, now you know you don't have no business playing drums out there on the street, then coming back home with some woman and not using protection, and you don't have no business coming home with him and not using no protection.
Yes, sure. I understand that now.
This update changes everything. Mrs. Snyder drops the bombshell of her pregnancy while Mr. Evans is out of state, introducing doubts about the timing and paternity given their brief fling and her later interactions with another man. The drama escalates rapidly, leading to a pivotal moment just ahead.
Take me to the day you find out Miss Snyder is pregnant.
Okay, so I'm in Colorado at this point working, and she calls me in between July and August of 2018. I get a phone call from her and she told me that she was pregnant. So, when do you find out when the baby's born and, what's the sex and everything? And so she told me it's possibly a girl and she's due sometime in January, or December.
The courtroom is buzzing with anticipation. A detailed analysis of the conception window is laid out based on the timeline of their sexual encounters. This analysis hints that Mr. Evans might actually be the father, despite all his doubts. Stay tuned, because the DNA test results are about to make a big splash.
You had sex with the other guy the 22nd through the 28th. If you do the calculation, the window of conception would have been around the end of March to the first week of April. You to believe that Mr. Evans, Lainey's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans is the only man you were sleeping with during that time?
Yes,
because
Your
you
Honor.
didn't meet him until the 1st.
Yes, Your Honor.
The verdict is in. Are you ready for this? The DNA test results are unveiled.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Evans, you are not the father. You were right, Mr. Evans. You are not her biological father.
Can you even handle what's going on? Miss Brown is here today slapping her mom with a lawsuit for a whopping $2,200, blaming her for the emotional roller coaster caused by not knowing her real dad. Now, the court's got its detective hat on, deciding if there's enough juice to squeeze a paternity test out of one potential pops. Just when you think you've seen it all, the next twist comes along.
Ms. Brown, you're here today suing your mother for $2,200 for emotional distress. You say she's caused you by not knowing who your biological father is. Now, the court has located one possible father and must determine is enough evidence to order a paternity test.
Hold on to your coffee, folks. Miss Brown drops a bombshell with a list her mom gave her, 6 to 7 names long, of guys who might be her dad. Turns out the first dude they tested could have starred in Not the Father, the way Maury Povich likes to announce. This roller coaster of daddy issues just cranked up a notch. You'll want to stick around for what's up next.
We want the truth in this courtroom.
My mom she wasn't there as much as she should have been there. I asked her on several occasions, do you know who my father could be? My mama just said, I don't know. Every time I asked, it was, I don't know, I don't know. Actually, I have a list of men. It's about 6 or 7 guys.
67?
About 6 or 7.
I said, wait a minute now. Okay.
You couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. Miss Brown spills the beans about her rocky childhood, bouncing around foster homes, all thanks to the mystery of her dad's identity. She even had to drop out in the 9th grade to look after her sick grandma, because, life wasn't tough enough. Hold tight, because the emotional floodgates are about to open even wider.
I was in and out of foster care on 3 different occasions. Foster care wasn't so good, I didn't know where they were. They got split up too. My grandmother got us back. She got sick. I missed 3 months of school, got kicked out. I was in alternative school. I got kicked out because my grandma got sick and I had to take care of her.
This is straight out of a daytime drama. Miss Brown Overstreet, the mother in the hot seat, confesses to her messy parenting skills, chalked up to her wild youth and a missing manual on motherhood. She's got regrets and admits to flunking out when her kids needed her most. The saga deepens, so don't go anywhere. The confessions are just getting started.
I had my kids young, and it was 6. I have 6 of them. So it wasn't like it was just one child. I had a hard time trying to be a mother. I didn't know how to raise my kids, and when I lost custody of them, I tried my best I can admit that I was young and I was wild, and I was kind of promiscuous, so I did not know who her father was.
Did you approach any of those men and say, I'm pregnant and I think you're the father, or you just left them all alone?
I just left them all alone.
This hits right in the feels. Miss Brown paints a picture of a childhood missing crucial pieces, a father's guidance and a mother's steady presence. Her brother became her makeshift parent, teaching her everything from bike riding to spelling. The plot thickens, and you won't believe what's coming next.
A little of some of what she was supposed to, but I guess she felt that giving me money erased all the past memories that I had because of her. She used to give me money all the time. Money don't pay. Money is not going to pay for what I went through. I was tormented.
You say you were tormented?
Tormented.
Living without your father?
Yes, Your Honor.
And your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when you think it's all out on the table, Mr. Smith, a new contender for Father of the Year, recounts his surprise debut at Miss Brown's workplace, which might as well have had a spotlight and dramatic music. His tale of mistaken intentions and awkward first impressions adds another layer to this family feud. The twists keep coming, so keep your eyes peeled.
We go back a long time. So when I called her, she was like that she was trying to find father of our daughter. I said, wouldn't it be funny if I was the father? She was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about you. I'm like, she forgot all about me. Then I was adding up the days. If I have a child out there, I want to know. I get out the car, and my cousin pointed her out, so I was looking at her. So she came up, and I said something to her first, and she was smiling at me like I was trying to flirt with her or something. So I'm like, yo, whoa, here, I might be your father. You busy trying to flirt with me.
Ever heard a story twist like a pretzel? Here's Mr. Smith with a doozy about a childhood injury that might have put him on the bench in the baby-making league. But biology's funny that way, and the possibility he's the dad is still in play. The stakes are high, and you'll want to see how this plays out.
You know, I really didn't. Because like I said, I tried to stand up right then and there. And I had to just be a man about the whole thing and take care of my responsibility. And that's why I'm here. You know, take care of what's mine, that's all.
Good, that's good to hear. You stated in your court papers, though, that you have reason to have doubt.
Oh.
And you just stated in court today she had a boyfriend during the time you slept with her.
Oh, yes,
Grab your popcorn for this bit. Dr. Gator steps up with a medical mic drop, saying despite Mr. Smith's cringeworthy injury, the man could still be shooting live rounds. This pivotal expert insight could change everything for Miss Brown, setting the stage for a paternity test showdown. The tension's building, and you're gonna wanna see the result.
Dr. Gator is from the Rise Men's Medical Clinic, and she's a board-certified family medical physician. Hi, Dr. Gator. Thank you so much for being with us. You've reviewed the evidence in this case. Mr. Smith contends that he had a serious injury, and the doctor told him he may not be able to have children because of this.
All right, let's get ready to rumble. The court calls for a DNA test to finally put to rest whether Mr. Smith is the dad or just another chapter in this saga. This is the part where we all lean in, because after all this buildup, the truth is about to be laid bare. Get ready for the reveal. It's a doozy.
The court is going to order a DNA test and order you to submit to that test so we can get this young woman the answers she deserves. Jerome, please escort them out of the courtroom. You're going to head to the lab immediately. We're back in session in the case of Brown versus Brown Overstreet. Welcome back, everyone.
And here it comes, the big reveal. DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Smith, you are not Shantia's father. I'm sorry.
Can you believe what just unfolded? Miss Browning and her grandmother, totally fed up with not knowing the real deal, are banking on today's court results to finally shed some light on her dad's identity. They're crossing their fingers for a result that not only confirms who her dad is, but also patches up their father-daughter bond and kicks off some much-needed healing. Mr. Browning admits to being on the birth certificate since he was hitched to Miss Browning's mom when she was conceived, but he's tossing out the idea of being the bio dad due to their split at the time. And just when you think you've got a grip on the drama, wait till you hear what's coming up next.
Browning, you and your grandmother have believed the defendant to be your biological father. You say that you are tired of his uncertainty and denial and hope that when today's results reveal the truth, it will strengthen your father-daughter relationship. You state you are Ms. Browning's legal father because you were married to her mother during the time of conception. You were no longer in an intimate relationship with her mother. It is impossible for you to be her biological father.
Hold on to your seats. This next bit is a doozy. As the court drama unfolds, Mr. Browning is sticking to his guns about not being the biological father, hinting that another guy might have been in the picture when his marriage was on the rocks. He tells a tale of a love lost and a relationship that was all but over before Miss Browning was even a twinkle in her mother's eye. Meanwhile, his own mother throws a curveball into the mix, swearing she saw things that would make a soap opera blush. Buckle up, because the family fireworks are just getting started.
Your assertion you're the legal father only.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain that to the court, please.
I'm the legal father of Tiffany, Your Honor, because at the time of Tiffany's conception, Your Honor, I was still married to, well, I'm not biologically the father. I believe the father is another man. I heard he was a drifter. Your Honor, what does it matter, Your Honor? What does it matter? I raised her. I took her to school. I went to the ball games with her. I went to her graduation. What does it matter, Your Honor?
You might want to sit down for this bombshell. In a twist that could turn any family dinner awkward, Miss Browning's grandma stands up in court to contradict her son's denial of paternity. She's adamant she saw enough romantic rendezvous at her place to make her head spin, placing Mr. Browning right at the scene of the conception. The courtroom is buzzing with mixed testimonies that blur the lines between past and present, and you won't want to miss what's thrown into the mix next.
She said there was another man. She said he was adrift.
So she admitted in a previous court proceeding, we're not the biological father, and that this other man she met during the separation was.
But I was there. I never heard, I was there in court. I never heard Rose say it.
That's not true.
That's a lie, Gray.
She said it. And Your Honor, my name is not on the birth certificate, Your Honor. She never filed child support, Your Honor, because she never felt I was her father.
This next part is heart-wrenching. Grab some tissues. Miss Browning dives into the deep end of her childhood memories, revealing the bombshell about her dad's paternity dropped during a heated family squabble when she was just 12. The scars of that revelation, it seems, dug deep, leaving more questions than answers about who she really is. The emotional roller coaster is far from over, so keep those tissues handy because things are about to get even more tear-jerking.
She never accepted me.
I actually saw many times. They lived in my house 7 days a week.
How does your son's denial make you feel? You say you know. How does it make you feel to hear him deny Tiffany?
It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad. And it's not for me, it's for her.
Right.
Things are heating up with some medical mysteries. Evidence is thrown into the mix, showing that both Miss Browning and Mr. Browning share a few quirky health issues: asthma, diabetes, and a pesky shellfish allergy. Could the genes be trying to tell us something after all? The court listens to experts dissecting whether these medical ties are just coincidence or clues to a familial connection. As the plot thickens, brace yourself. The truth bomb is just about to drop.
Right up to the witness stand.
Dr. Brown Parks, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First, I want to ask you, Dr. Brown Parks, how does asthma develop?
So asthma is a constrictive airway disease. And when we're talking about the father with asthma, chances of having a child diagnosed with asthma, also a father who has it, is 2.5 to 3 times, depending on the age of diagnosis.
And here it is, the grand finale everyone's been waiting for. In a courtroom packed with tension, the envelope with the DNA results is finally opened.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Browning, you are not the father.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Buckle up, we're starting with a bang. Ms. Percival kicks off by claiming her supposed dad, Mr. Hansen, has never recognized her as his daughter in all of 31 years. Mr. Hansen snaps back, utterly denying paternity, insisting there's no way she's his. And just like that, the courtroom's already sizzling with drama.
Ms. Percival, you say for the past 31 years your father has never been willing to accept you as his biological daughter. Now, Mr. Hansen, you claim you did not sleep with Ms. Percival's mother at the time she was conceived, and there is no way she is your daughter.
Here's where it gets juicy. Just when you thought one paternity claim was enough, there's another woman outside, also claiming Mr. Hansen is her father. Inside, Ms. Percival spills her heart out about feeling rejected all her life, being the sibling who was never acknowledged. You'll want to stick around because the pot is about to stir even more.
There is yet another young woman waiting outside of the courtroom claiming Mr. Hansen is her father.
I feel like he's rejected me since, well, my whole life I've grown up not knowing who my father was. Also through my mother, who is Michael's daughter. He accepted her when she was a baby, but denied me the whole entire time.
Hold your popcorn. Things are heating up. Judge Lake dives into the whys and hows as Mr. Hansen reveals he was juggling relationships at the supposed time of conception. He paints himself as Mr. Faithful, claiming it's impossible for him to be the father. Don't go anywhere. The courtroom's temperature is about to rise.
I was with the woman 20 years, never cheated on.
You're in a marriage. You say you never cheated on your wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Within a month of the time that Ms. Percival was born.
I was with the other woman.
Can you feel the tension? Ms. Percival recounts the limited interaction with Mr. Hansen, painting a picture of a dad who's practically a stranger. As accusations fly about Mr. Hansen's fidelity, he staunchly denies overlapping relationships. But wait, the plot thickens in the next moment.
No, I barely met him personally 2 months ago at Teresa's house.
We're gonna get to that story in a moment.
That's proven right there that you were.
She's the
but
one that
you were
cheated
still
on
a
me.
cheater. You were with both women at the same time.
No, I wasn't.
All right.
You won't believe this twist. Enter Ms. Vialpando with her take on Mr. Hansen's dubious paternity stance. She reveals a tangled web of liaisons and possible deceptions, challenging Mr. Hansen's narrative of loyalty. The revelations are far from over, so keep watching. It's getting wild in here.
His contention is that he was married and he never cheated.
Never cheat on Tracy.
Your daughters are 1 month apart. He in fact was going back.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he is the father.
Grab a seat if you haven't already. Mr. Hansen drops a bombshell, claiming ignorance of Ms. Percival's existence until she was in her teens, contradicting the mother's story. As they argue over family resemblances and histories, you'll want to see what explosive info comes out next.
And were you clear with him when you were pregnant, this is your child?
Yes.
She don't even look like me.
I look like Jessica and I look like Teresa. And Jessica for sure is your kid?
Yeah, Jessica's mine, yeah. I know
we
she's
look
mine.
identical.
Did you ever ask him for a DNA test?
No, because I never seen him around.
You thought that was shocking? As we edge closer to the climax, Ms. Hansen and Ms. Merchant enter the fray, adding layers to the already convoluted family saga. Their testimonies promise to add more sparks to the fiery debate. The next turn is sure to drop some jaws.
And Jerome, could you please Ms. Hansen and Ms. Merchant into the courtroom?
We're gonna have you go to the podium on the left here.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
I can't wait for the child support.
Huh?
Hold on 1 second before you say what you have to say. State your name for the court.
Tracy Merchant.
You're Ms. Merchant, and your name?
I'm Tracy Hansen.
Fasten your seatbelts for an emotional roller coaster. As Ms. Percival and Mr. Hansen delve into the profound impacts of his absence, the courtroom is drenched in emotion. With Mr. Hansen still doubting the paternity, the upcoming DNA results are eagerly anticipated. This is going to be a revelation you don't want to miss.
No matter
I hear
what,
one thing and I hear another, so I mean, they're both, as far as I'm concerned, he's my father, so it's both of my parents right now, because I don't know.
But no matter what,
I need answers.
no matter what, she's gonna be
I
my
need
daughter,
answers.
no matter the outcome. No matter the outcome. If she's my daughter, I'll take full responsibility.
Here comes the grand finale. DNA results are in, and they're about to flip the script.
When it comes to the paternity of Ms. Percival, Mr. Hansen, you are her father.
There's no way.